Reselling life.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of This Is Your Reselling Life. Tonight, we have an awesome guest all the way from the UK, Peter Wray from Peter Wray's Adventures. So without any further ado, we'll bring him up and learn a little bit more about his reselling life. Hey, Peter. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for sparing some time for us. I know it's quite early in the morning over there, about 9 o'clock in the morning, I think. So thanks for getting up in the middle of winter and spending some time with us. Looks like we've got a fair few people in the chat, so we'll say a quick hello to everyone before we get cracking on your story. I did see a few people dropping first in. So Deep Fried Deals was first in. You were second, so thanks for popping by. Robin B is in the chat as well. Eric's reselling. Cookie and the Haydens, Chris, thanks for popping by. Sinister, Diary of Flipper, that's another Brad. Jazz Cell, I'm not really sure who she is, someone. Fat Girl Sewing, DB Resells, Watcher 1421, Adam Kara, Dave C. Let's catch up. We flipping good stuff, which is Zach. And a whole bunch of other people. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. Thanks for coming in, everyone. Really appreciate you coming along and spending some time with us tonight. Really keen to get into Peter's story. So I guess for everyone in the chat, where did it all start for you, Peter? Where did reselling come up for you?
Well, I was doing a part-time job back in beginning of 2016. I used to work with young children where their parents went to work, and I used to work part-time at a breakfast club and an after-school club. And that basically, I just happened one day to have some stuff that I wanted moving. So I thought, okay, I'll have a look at the available sites to sell on. And I was thinking to myself, I can just use eBay and that, and I was just having a look around eBay, and so I said, okay, I created an account, and I was like, okay, fair enough. It's only doing it back then. There's a private seller back then. I was like, okay, fair enough, and I thought that's cool, and I gave it a few weeks, had a few good sales, and that, and then the way it got a bit bigger was I just happened to one day to be searching on Google and for some help, and obviously the first one that came through was Nick and Andrew Hill's one of their videos. So I had a quick look through and thought, oh, this is interesting. I kind of get what they're talking about, and from then on, really, I've actually decided. I think it was like some point in 2017 to go as a business seller and continue selling on eBay. So it's just basically from selling some like stuff I didn't want to like now going and buying to make some money. So it's just progressed over the few years.
Yeah, and it's come quite a long way. And you've also started up a YouTube. I think the first video I saw was about 3 years back.
I started in May 2017 doing reselling videos. I had a few other little videos previously, a few concert videos previously before, but May 2017.
And since then you've put out quite a lot of videos, a lot of going out and sourcing, but you also do like a lot of what you call your adventures. So you like to incorporate that as part of your channel as well?
I do, yeah. I just don't like to have one sort of topic on my YouTube channel, because I find, like, especially in the UK, a lot of people would only sit and watch one type of content. Like, I had considered previously doing like 2 or 3 different channels, but it gets hard to actually be able to put content on all channels. So I just thought I'd put it all on one channel, like the adventures I go out on, the reselling, the gaming, etc., and just put as many playlists where you can see and go, because I've got quite a few, but everything. So you can see like what I put my adventures on outside vlogs, and then each adventure has got a separate file where you can go through and have a look. So I just thought that basically it's easier for people to see, and it's and you get a lot more different people like outside of the reselling game to come to subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a cool little idea. It's definitely brings different group of people in, and sort of helps grow your channel. So I think it's a great little idea. If anyone has any questions along the way for Peter tonight, please drop them in the chat. I'll try and pick them up and ask them along the way. We do have some questions as well. So I know, Peter, you've sort of spoken pretty openly on your channel and also Andrew's channel about your Asperger's and how that sort of you've got a mild case of it. How does that sort of how does that impact you day to day, and how do you get around that? Like, what do you have to do to make sure you sort of focus in what you need to do?
Well, basically, because I was diagnosed with Asperger's since I was 5 years old, and it's basically a communication. It's like language and communication, meaning that I find it hard to communicate with people. I found it hard all my life to communicate with people on a day-to-day basis and be able to chat to people. Also, it basically involves routines. If I have a set routine, I'm fine. But if something that I was going to be doing and I can't do, then it's quite hard for me to be able to compute that, and it does get quite hard day to day. But over the years I've kind of coped by different methods, but it's just basically like your speech and language and being able to put your thoughts across, and that it's kind of I've always found a way of just keeping calm, doing what I need to do. That's why with the reselling and the YouTube, I always have set times that I can do stuff, because I try and do on YouTube side of things 2 to 3 videos a week. Yeah, that includes a live. And then with the reselling, I've set times where I can do certain things, but it does get quite hard. Yeah, where things change and you think, oh, okay, I've got to sit down and rethink. That's why with the Asperger's, one side of it is repetitiveness. So I'm always writing things down, checking things, going through in my head, what time am I doing this? What time am I doing that? Even for today's chat, I was thinking, I went through on Sunday, every question, and I went through, right, this might happen at this time, it could happen at that time in the chat. Yeah. So it basically needs to have a set structure. Yeah. Per day. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely try and keep it set for you. It is difficult with the chat rolling in as well. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I understand it, because obviously I do the chats as well. They go quite. But like Chris said, you do a great job, Peter. So yeah, well, definitely I do. Yeah, because I wouldn't have thought doing this type of thing or even doing lives when I first started. It's really hard. Yeah, but I've just grown as a person with the reselling communities. Helped. Yeah, a lot. I think it what I've watched of you and when you have spoken about it, you said that doing the YouTube has sort of given you that confidence to sort of be more, adaptable and able to communicate with people better. So that's really cool that YouTube's being able to do that for you. Is that something like what are your plans for YouTube going forward? Are you looking to do sort of those scheduled 3 a week, or are you trying to branch out a little bit, change things up a little bit, or are you sort of on the routine? And yeah, I'm still hoping to try and do 3 videos a week. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 I try and do at least 2 videos, but with the YouTube side of things, it's just basically trying to think of like different types of videos. Like I went back through some of my videos that I've done previously over the last few years. I think, okay, how can I adapt these type of videos obviously I've got a really great subscriber base,
Yeah.
which like I was chatting to Peter Cummins, which is the vinegar jar, in the chat the other day, and I was saying, because I'd met him at a local jumble sale as on one of my videos, and we were basically chatting about like how about different aspects of YouTube and how we can put ourselves forward. What I would like to do is try and I keep doing the reselling things and adventures. It's just I would like to incorporate the reselling community a lot more by getting more guests on my lives, or doing more one-to-one chats like I have done in the past.
Yeah.
And just continuing. It would be great though if I do get past 2,000 subscribers this year, and that.
Yeah, definitely. For all those in the chat that have subscribed, Zach did drop a link earlier, and there is one in the description. So if you guys haven't headed over to Peter's channel, definitely go check him out. Some really cool content, and also the adventure stuff as well.
Definitely. I have noticed though, about 15 to 20% of my subscriber base are actually local to where I live. Local to like the London area and slightly further afield. And I always get comments from people like, "Oh, you're really showing off the area.
Yeah,
you're making the area look really good," which I do when I go out on the vlogs, because I do a vlog, the adventure ones, and it's out at 8 a.m. in the morning. Don't get home till about 9 p.m.
Wow.
And normally I've got like 2 hours worth of footage. So what I normally do is split the adventures into 5 or 6 short vlogs. Plus, I normally do a preview vlog. And that way, then it's usually about between 15 and 20 minutes, depends on the footage.
Yeah.
And that way, it's not too long for people to watch, because I'm one of these people. I think it's to Asperger's, where if I'm going somewhere, I like to show as much as I can of an area where I go to, whether it's a reselling type vlog outside or doing a adventure.
Yeah, definitely. I think splitting it up like that sort of, keeps people engaged in it, and they can come back and watch small portions of it and come back and see it. So I definitely think that's a cool little thing you've got going there.
Yeah.
The vinegar jar that you mentioned just before, I actually had a nice little question for you.
Okay.
Peter, you really enjoy doing the vlogs of you out and about local areas and interesting places. Do you have plans to go further afield?
Yes, definitely, Peter. I definitely have plans to go further afield. I will have a look at local parks and local nature reserves around to see what's accessible and when I can go. Because obviously I try and make sure I go when it's a nice day.
Yeah.
A whole day, because obviously there's a lot to think about with the vlogs. Like for example, I have to think about like where I'm going to go, what I'm going to take with me, your food, your drink, sensible shoes, etc., and all your things you need for like your camera, your batteries, your tripods, that sort of thing. And yes, Peter, I do have plans to go a lot further afield, different places and different types of outside vlogs. It's just finding, as you know, a decent day weather-wise to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that'll be cool to see if you sort of venture a bit further afield. I imagine it's a lot of planning though. So looks like we've got a few more people jumping in the chat. I saw Rod jump in. I also saw Damo. I saw a couple more jumping in. Liz Queensland, thanks for coming in. Cherie, a couple more in the chat as well. Crony G Crone, thanks for coming in. Georgina dropped in as well. So thanks everyone for coming along. Like we said before, if you do have questions along the way, please drop them in. We'll try and queue them up for Peter to answer and get to know a bit more about what Peter's doing. Peter doing Oz adventures would be amazing.
That would be amazing, definitely.
Plenty of places to go here. You might need to plan longer than a day trip, though, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Peter, did you manage to sell the
I know what, yeah. Basically, at my last car boot, I brought some football programs and magazines, Chelsea FC, and Rod's an avid fan, not. And every time I show a Chelsea something, he's like, oh, I don't like this, because he supports the other side, Manchester City.
Yeah.
So he's always like, no, I haven't sold them yet.
Awesome. So we sort of touched on your sort of goals for YouTube, but what are your sort of your reselling goals in future? Are you just hoping to keep growing the business and move into other areas? Do you sell on like Amazon and stuff like that as well?
Not at the moment, no. I sell primarily on eBay, and then I go to local apps. Like in the UK, we've got like an apps called Spock and Gumtree, where I can list items on. And then I've got Facebook Marketplace, plus near where I live, we have on Facebook local Facebook groups where you can buy and sell in certain areas. So it would be nice to do Amazon, but I'll have to have definitely work out all the figures for Amazon. But at the moment, eBay is like what I do. But I would like to up my listings.
Yeah.
To because I'm at the moment I'm at 253, I believe, something like that. I've got loads to list, but I'd like to get way past 300. Plus diversify what I sell. I sell most things. I'm just getting back into selling women's clothing.
Oh, yeah.
I had a look at that again because I used to sell it a while back when I first started doing eBay properly, and I got out of it because
it is a tough market.
Have like what's called I buy like one type of item, quite a lot of them. At the moment, it's laptop and messenger bags and DSLR camera bags. I've been buying loads of that sort of thing. And when the car boots are on, I was buying loads of tripods, little football cards, but I would like to diversify again, because that's why I watch a diverse range of resellers on YouTube who deal in like jewelry, clothing, games, electronics, etc. I would like to be able to get more into electronics side of things, but we don't normally see it where I live in the south. We don't normally see electronics so much. Only normally when the car boot season's on. That's usually from March till about September, October, because last September was awful.
Yeah.
Because Pete, the vinegar jar, the local person to me, and he goes to the same car boots, and most of them were rained off. We were ashamed at the end of last season, so we had to sort of think of alternatives where to source. But it would be nice to up the listings and learn more areas, so I can go and be able to go, right, that's so-and-so item, without thinking, I'm not even sure what it is, but
just
definitely.
learning those little intricacies that are hard to pick up. We've got the Aussie VHS Thrifter, Robin, as well. Thanks for popping in. So you sort of mentioned there a bit about you selling the bags at the moment, but what's your favorite thing to sell on eBay? Do you have like an item that you always love to go back to all the time?
Yeah, computer games and gaming consoles. It's my favorite thing to resell ever. I know a lot of people in chat be like, oh no, not computer games, but I've been an avid fan since I was 4 years old, since I had a Master System 2, and because I was born in 1990, so a 90 like Master System, Mega Drive, PlayStation 1, for example, and I've always been into it because it's the one thing that's quite hard for me is with the reselling, like if I get a whole bundle of games and consoles and that, and because I'm also a gaming collector on the side, when my money allows myself to do, it's a hard thing to think, have I got this certain game? Is it worth good money on eBay? But quite a lot of times I have to restrict myself for my collection. Just to say to myself, that's worth good money, put it on eBay. It's quite, but I would love to do more gaming consoles, and because I used to pick it up back in when I first started, I used to pick up loads of consoles and bundles, but nowadays we don't see it over here very often.
Yeah, they're harder to come by now.
Indeed, yeah, they are.
Everyone knows about them. You kind of answered Chris's question. So his question was, do you buy it to collect stuff? So you sort of were ahead of the game there. You picked up on the...
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, with the gaming stuff, sometimes I do. I don't collect every game for every console. I just don't have room for it or the money. I just collect the ones that I played or really do like. But
so mainly Master System.
I'm getting a lot better now to say to myself, I don't need that game. I can put this on eBay or Facebook for a certain amount of money. I have other collections I do collect. For example, I collect like Power Ranger figures, some random things, and other bits and pieces. But it's normally thinking to myself, right, I haven't got the space. I've got this bundle here, and then need to get it moving. I've got it at a good price, get it moving, instead of it sitting around a lot. Yeah,
you're doing better than me. Whenever I find anything that I want for my collection, it's very hard for me to let it go. So
definitely.
I completely understand. Drew's asking, do you plan on incorporating more of your musical interests on your channel? He would watch you review metal albums.
Yeah, that would be actually quite good. I never thought about in that sort of way. I would love to do that. Review metal albums. It's something close to my heart. But yeah, I've never actually thought about in that way. But yeah, definitely could be doing reviews. I would have to work out a good way of doing it for the eBay algorithm and that. That would be actually a good thing to do, because I'm always looking for other types of content to do on the channel.
Yeah,
1, 2, or 3 videos or such.
Yeah, nice. Without going too far off schedule, what's your favorite band?
Oh, easy. There's a UK band from St Albans. They're an electronic-core, a metalcore band, Enter Shikari.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've been to them for years. I've seen them about 8 times.
Wow. All in the local area, or?
What's that?
All in the local area you've gone to the concerts, or have
No, I had about three times local area. I've been up to London to see Enter Shikari. They played a place called the Alexandra Palace, which is a grade 1 listed building, I think. Wow. And it's a big venue. It's like 10,000 people in the venue. I've seen them twice there at the Alexandra Palace. It's 10,000 standing, and it's just like awesome. I think they've done one. I think their first time there, they did an album, and then they did an album where you could see them at the Alexandra Palace. I've seen them at the O2 Arena, which is in London. So I've seen them quite a few varied places.
That'd be awesome. Diary of a Flipper, which is another Brad down here, says he's seen them down in Australia as well. Yeah. So they've done a bit of traveling.
I think they've recently finished a tour of Australia in the last couple of months.
Wow.
And they go all over the world.
Georgina's saying they're great. DB Resellers has a question for you. If you could travel back in time to the day you started eBay as a business, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, God. What would I tell myself? I would tell myself to a few things. First thing, make sure I work out the postage costs, because
Yeah.
when I first started, I didn't have a clue about postage, where I could get cheaper postage and stuff. Because in the UK, we have like a price comparison website called Parcel to Go, and that comprises, like, you can compare of different postage companies. And I wish I'd used that in the start, because I use that anything over 2 kilograms, because our Royal Mail is very expensive, 2 kilograms or over. That's one thing I would tell myself. Second thing I'd tell myself is make sure you have the space to put your items. And then third thing is make sure you know where your items are by getting an SKU in your store, making sure you know, because it's nothing worse than going selling something and thinking, where did I put it? Spending half an hour finding something.
It is very tough when we did the same thing early on. We didn't set up a good enough system, and then it came back to bite us once we got bigger. So definitely definitely get onto that. That's a very good tip there. I'll ask a couple more questions in the chat, and then we'll try and get back to the schedule. Question: what is the one item you want to find to resell? Do you have like a holy grail that you're always on the lookout for?
Yeah, I've got a few, but one item I would like to find. There's a camera in the UK. I think it's called the Mew2 camera. It's just like a small camera. They can go up to like works of like some go up for like 130 plus.
Wow.
For the little camera. People can find them at the car boots and stuff, and for like sometimes for £5. Wow. And I'm thinking, I've never found one.
There's always that thing that you're always sort of chasing. You'll find one day, but hasn't lived you so far. Yeah,
there's a few other little items, but that's the main one.
Yeah, definitely. I had a question about what has been your best find or flip so far along the way? What's your most memorable?
Oh, most memorable, I've got it here. I went into a charity shop a couple of months ago, and I picked up, there was a bag laying in a local charity shop, and I knew exactly what it was, because it's one of my hobbies. What's called indoor bowls.
Oh yeah.
And I saw the bag, and I lifted it up a little bit. I was thinking, that's quite heavy, and I checked out at the bottom, and I knew the round shape, and I looked at it. It's like some indoor bowls. And there was a set of 4 what's called Thomas Taylor Vector indoor bowls. They're size 4. There's different sizes for people to use, and because I've got very small hands, so I've only used a small size, but certain ones sell for good money. And I sold one. I'm not sure if it'll come up. 135 plus postage.
135 plus post. Wow, that's pounds. That's like 270 Australian. Wow.
And that went to the Scottish Highlands. And I was like, wow, it took a little while to sell, about 3 or 4 weeks, but I was happy. That was around Christmas time. That's my best sale that I've had on eBay. But I've had bits and pieces around, because normally, because in the UK we can pick up at the car boots like soccer football boots for very, very cheap, like £1 or £2 or even less, and some of them go for like £35-40.
Oh, that's a nice flip.
Plus on eBay.
Definitely. Looks like I've missed a question from Vinegar Jar, so Jazz has chucked it back in.
Okay.
Whether you prefer the social side of YouTube or the reselling knowledge, like what do you use YouTube for most?
I think for me, it's got to be the social side of YouTube, as I'm an only child, so the days can be quite lonely. I do, because even chatting now, I've like striking friendships up. Over the last 3 or so years of doing YouTube, I've been striking a lot of friendships. And there's what's called a lads chat on Facebook. There's lots of us, like Nick, Z, Ads, Peter, Andrew, etc., who chat on a daily basis, and we can chat about anything if we're feeling down or etc. And
Yeah.
I've actually like chatted to a lot of people from all over the world, America, Australia. I chat to them quite regularly off YouTube, and also there's been a few UK-based meetups where there's been 2 in Hitchin where Nick and Andrea live. And the first one was 2018, back end of 18, I think November time. And I was like, do I go or don't I go? Because I wasn't sure how I was going to react. With the Asperger's, it's a bit scary going. It was only an hour and a half by train, but I was like, do I? But I went and I had a really good time because I did a video on it. And then last 2019, about March or April, there was one in Bristol, which is a southwest. A lady called Carla Jenkins, who's on YouTube. She organised it, and that was a 3-hour journey on train for where I went. I thought I might as well go because and the last one went great. I met a lot of new people as friends and had an amazing time. And that's like the social side of YouTube. And obviously there's was a meetup in Hitchin a few months ago. Yeah. Whereas I went and met a lot more people, chat to people, and it's like I couldn't thank them enough. Like not just Nick and Andrea, but everyone who came. Yeah. Like, thank them enough for the opportunity to go and chat to people and hear their story and just have a good time. And like sort of even popping on certain people's live streams here and there and getting to know people. It's like you can have like a good chat to people, a good laugh, certain aspects of their life or what's happened. And yeah, I do like the reselling knowledge as well because I retain quite a lot, and obviously I write a lot down. Yeah. And so that's for like when I go around car boots, charity shops, I go, oh, I know this certain brand of jeans or this top that's worth good money. I can pick it up. So
that's awesome. Well, congratulations on pushing yourself to be able to do that because it obviously was difficult the first time, but now you're going out all the time and meeting great people. So that's awesome. Chris has a nice question. What does your typical day look like? Do you have you said before that you have a pretty sort of set routine. So what does it look like for you?
Basically pretty normal day. Normally it kind of depends on what's happening that day, but normally a normal day if I'm at home, just at home, I normally I try and get up as soon as I can, like obviously like today. If I have anything I've sold on eBay the previous evening or late afternoon, I try and wrap that up and do all the shipping labels and try and send it at a local post office. Sometimes I like to do what's called a day in the life videos occasionally. And it just shows what I'm up to, a bit of reselling and non-reselling type of thing. I occasionally pop into people's live streams in the chat if they're live, just to show some support. Do a bit of eBay here and there. And sometimes I'm out like go out to help parents. Like I pick up my mum and from work and take her to work occasionally. It just depends what's happening on a typical day, but normally I try and get my postage done and wrapping so I can send that. I try and send that as soon as I can because I always know that week what's happening, so I can send on certain days with the postage, and then usually I try and get as much eBay listings as I can or photographing done because it's either usually I either usually draft a load of items on my store, or list a few. It depends on the photographs I have, because I usually use the back end of the week, Thursday or Friday is the best day for me to photograph items, and I usually do a whole load of stuff. But sometimes a typical day would be going out sourcing. If I go out sourcing, I think, right, where can I source? Because there's lots of charity shops and stuff locally to me, and sometimes I'm quite friendly with quite a lot of people in the charity shops, so I get quite good deals in certain ones.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the day, if I've got to go out somewhere or if I'm in and stuff like that. So it's just, yeah.
And you've been doing a few jumble sales, you're saying before as well. You've sort of been a lot of those while there's no car boots on.
Yeah, a lot of the jumble sales are usually on Saturday mornings or afternoons. So my weekends, I try and tend to have my weekends like either catch up what I've missed off during the week, either if it's just watching YouTube or if it's finalizing my eBay spreadsheets and stuff, or working out what I'm doing the previous the next week or so. But
yeah, that's cool. A few more people dropped in. I saw Mel pop in. Anthony's dropped in as well. So thanks for coming. And KLC, Louise has popped in. So thanks everyone for coming along. Really appreciate you coming along and showing, listening and showing Peter some support tonight. It's really cool to see everyone in the chat. So I had a couple more questions on my little list here. So one of the questions was, what do you like most about reselling? So what sort of draws you to reselling?
Well, basically what I like about reselling, a few things. Like, I like the sourcing aspect of things, because I know that I can, certain times during the week, I know I can get out. If it's a nice day, I can get out. Sometimes I can walk to the charity shops, a little bit of exercise. Sometimes I drive to the charity shops, and basically I know in that respect can go out and that. Other things I like about reselling is just trying to think is I do like to actually it sounds weird, but I do like to take the photographs. I do like to take a really good photograph. That's knowing awesome. That for well it looks really good on the eBay store, thinking, oh, I've done that really well. I'm quite happy. That I actually goes back to my marathon Asperger's.
Yeah,
liking things a certain way, but yeah, it's basically that's basically it. Yeah.
And what things do you not like about reselling? Is there anything that you sort of struggle with, or that you don't like to do?
Have a thing I don't like about it. Well, sometimes packaging certain items that are quite fiddly to package.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, you got like a big package and it's like not square or like it's like different types. What else? And sometimes the amount of questions you get asked on eBay, some silly questions from customers, potential customers. It's like, okay, but that's actually on my listing.
Yeah,
so you be very polite. But apart from that,
it's like when you put the measurements in, and then they're like,
"Yeah, definitely."
You're like,
yeah, and they ask you, down
below.
It's like, what's the measurement of this, that, and the other? I'm like, well, yeah.
So I guess we've all had struggles with eBay over the last sort of, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. So if you could change one thing about eBay, what would you change?
Trying to think. Change one thing about eBay. Just trying to think. Actually, we probably the way, because one thing like I could change is like when you send an offer to a watcher. So you send an offer to a watcher. It's usually I try and send my offers to watchers either early morning or in the evening when people are up and awake. and couldn't get to their phones and stuff. You just try and send via PC, because it's I find sending offers to watchers via PC, it gets through a lot quicker. I would like it if they would actually be able to get the send offers to watchers at the same, what I call, sell-through rate as on the PC. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
For example, but I find I get a lot more sales if I send out offers to watchers via the PC than I do of a mobile.
Yeah, it is a bit easier on the PC as well, hey, because you can do like send multiple and just do a percentage, which makes it nice.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty much.
Andrew is saying bring back 10 and 30-day listings. Good to cancel has been a pain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I first started, good cancelled was a pain, and you had to sort of work out. But it's okay now. I sort of got used to it, but I have to think, when can I end a certain listing? How long has the listing been on the store, which you can check on eBay, because he did a good video on that the other day, and I was like, wow, because I didn't realize that, and then I've just been using it ever since, and it's helped me quite a lot.
Yeah, there's some good suggestions in here. Actually, the vinegar jar is saying it'd be good to be able to filter out buyers who have a certain percentage of bad feedback. Definitely. Absolutely. Rob's saying, how about let's get eBay to voice activated listings? What else we got? David's dropped in as well. Hey, David, good to see you. Rod said I'd introduce a basic IQ test to filter out the strugglers of eBay. Has to be the back end. I have no faith in the file exchange. Yeah, that is very bad at the moment. And with all the changes with the item specifics as well, it's very difficult.
Oh God, yeah, definitely.
You should be able to do everything on the app that you can do on desktop. Yeah, that's another issue.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I think they're all good suggestions for eBay. Maybe eBay can take some of those on board and get them done, because yeah, they're sort of a little bit behind the ball, I'd say. So you mentioned before that you want to sort of expand your knowledge as well. So is there a specific category that you want to like learn more than others? Like, do you want to get into, more women's stuff, or is there a category that you want to focus in on?
Yeah, I thought about that for a while, getting into more vintage type items, because I see a few channels around on YouTube are dealing like a lot of vintage items, and I see it occasionally at the car boots, and when I'm sourcing, I'm thinking, can never tell if it's a fake item or if it's real. I know certain vintage ones go for good money. If you're thinking like, it's just like always like we like to do that with the vintage type, collectible items, and also obviously up in my game in the women's clothing would be nice, because I can never tell what the in fashion is these days. Always changes every season.
Yeah,
it's quite confusing, but
it's hard to keep up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Zach has a question. Is the item specifics an issue worldwide? So I believe you guys got the home and garden update email just recently. Is that right?
Yeah, we got an email recently for more item specifics.
Yeah.
On gardening. I can't remember. There was two categories.
Yeah.
We got it on, but yeah, the issue is worldwide. It was pretty bad when it went on to clothing items, because just one day all my clothing listings had like a lot more item specifics. It took me about a day or so to go through them, change them all, and re-measure. I'm like, oh, I hate measuring things.
Yeah,
I never get it perfectly right. But yeah, it's worldwide. Yeah,
it's very difficult to get them perfect. So yeah, I think like you said, vintage stuff I want to learn a bit better as well, because it's definitely tough that market. So I wanted to touch a little bit on your hobbies. So when you graciously came on the charity live, you brought on some comics, which I thought was quite interesting. So firstly, thank you very much for participating in that, offering us up. That was a really cool little lot. You mentioned lawn bowls, but what other sort of hobbies do you have apart from that? Do you enjoy the comic books and stuff as well?
Yeah. Other hobbies like other than indoor bowls. I was thinking about that the other day. Obviously, gaming, collecting games, consoles, and the accessories that go with that. Obviously, it's not a cheap hobby, but um, I've always been into that for years. Interested in gaming, collecting. Um, and then if you're thinking about that in my YouTube sense, my even my adventures, when I go out on an adventure, that's a hobby for me because I kind of get to relax and do what I like, sort of thing. But yeah, if I didn't sort of, if I didn't have a hobby, it would be a bit boring, really. Because even indoor bowls, I've met a lot of people in our local club to where I am. Um, Basically, I think there's 300 plus people, and I'm there near enough every week. And I've met a lot of people, chat to them, and confidence has grown as well as in the reselling community. And it's just nice to have something else to do rather than think about reselling on a 24-hour basis.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm only part time doing this at the moment, so quite a lot of my hours are still filled with eBay and whatever that entails. But other than indoor bowls, gaming, and my vlogs, I can't think of anything else a hobby really.
Daisy Chain saying my tip for indoor bowls is to buy 2 beers, one for each end, pain in the rear end, walking back and forth.
It is, yeah.
That's
indeed it is, yeah. It's not. It doesn't seem that long when you're walking back and forth on the end, but when you've done 18 ends over 2-3 hours or so, or 21 ends or whatever it is, you get quite fit.
We actually went and visited my family for Christmas the other year, and we went lawn bowling, and it's not as easy as it looks. It's quite a difficult game. So, how did you get into lawn bowls? Where did that all start for you?
Well, basically back in Christmas 2018, basically my mum was going to the indoor bowls locally previously, and I shrugged it off for quite a while, for about 2 or 3 months. So I don't want to do it, as I do with a lot of things. And I had a pretty bad what I call breakdown, like mental breakdown, back in 2018 Christmas period time, with a lot of things getting on top of me, and I was like, didn't want to do anything, didn't want to be anywhere or do anything. I just one day just thought I'll go along, see how it is, because they do certain times of the week they do free sessions, like 2-hour sessions free, so you can go along. It was usually on Tuesday evenings. Go along and use their bowls and get coached, coach you. And ever since then, I've just kept it up, because most things in my life, I've done it for a certain period and that's it. But I enjoy like the aspect of things. Even it's a hard game, as you say, and you don't win all the time, but it's just nice.
It's a good challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it's not the cheapest option, because the bowls I selected were quite expensive.
Yeah,
but they work for me, and I've joined a couple of leagues in the club. I do one on Fridays, some Fridays during the winter season, and one usually on Monday or Tuesday. That's why sometimes you may see me in chat saying, I can't make it tonight, I'm playing indoor bowls,
Yeah.
And I'm actually playing tomorrow afternoon. I've got a pairs match. Me and my mum are playing a couple in the club, because they have different inter-club competitions.
Yeah.
So,
well, good luck. I hope you do well. Andrew's saying short-term interest is an autistic trait. He has the same.
He does indeed, yeah.
Marie's asking bowls is like bowling, so it's like lawn bowls is what that is. Not
pretty much, yeah.
Bowling, yeah. Zach's dropped your channel in again, so as we said before, please jump over, show Peter some support. As mentioned, he's got a lot going on the channel, so plenty of videos.
Yeah.
Crony G Crone is saying you should be proud of how far you've come, Peter. Keep at it. Hearing other people fight through their battles and come out the other side is inspiration for others, including me. So yeah, I think it's great to share your channel and share your life as well, and
cool, yeah.
The difference between where you were and where you are now is pretty cool. See if there's any more questions in the chat. Here we go. What's the best? Firstly, do you ship internationally, Peter?
I do indeed, yes.
So what's your best international sale?
Just trying to think what my best international sale is.
Or have you had one recently?
I'm just trying to think. I've got some bits here. Just trying to think what I've sold recently internationally. Just trying to think actually. I sold there were some Doctor Who DVDs that I sold. I sold them to Ireland for £31 plus postage.
Yeah.
I ship occasionally, like I don't do every country in the world for various different reasons, but I do quite a lot. I've only recently done international shipping in the last 4 or 5 months. And it's going quite well because I've shipped to Ireland a few times, Germany, Spain, America. Yet to send something to Australia, but time will come.
There's a few Aussies in the chat, so if you want to jump over Peter's.
So I just use GSP. It's amazing what people buy via GSP.
Yeah.
I believe I shipped a Monopoly Empire board game for £35. I think that went to Ireland or that go to either Ireland or Spain. But I do ship occasionally. Certain percentage of my items go to GSP because the GSP centre in the UK is up north. It's a place called Lichfield, and it's easy to do. You just send your item, whichever company you're going to use. Like for example, Royal Mail. Send it with that, and then what they do, they send it to the GSP in Lichfield. You get like a little bit of paper when you print off your. Because I always do my postage for international GSP on the eBay site, and it's cheaper that way. Plus, you get it fully tracked, and then you can print off the sheet of paper where you can get it stamped. And if you've got any problems, you can call eBay or whatever. I've got this here stamped. Stuff like that, but it's pretty simple to do in the UK. It doesn't usually if I'm sending to America, they will get it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Easy. Yeah.
We don't have GSP here. We just have to send via our normal post. So a little bit different to you guys in the US, but yeah, it's definitely worth having those options on. I think it definitely helps with sales, especially in, like the smaller communities like us in the UK. Having those options outside of our own region, I think
I have quite a few options. I have like the normal postage for the UK, GSP, and what's called you can send parcels to like local stores. Like for example, in UK, you can send to like Argos. It's called Click and Collect.
Yeah, so we have that too.
Someone can click on there and send it to their local Argos or their local whatever, and then they can go and collect it when they get a notification.
Makes it easier, doesn't it?
It sort of saves people if they're not home a lot.
Yeah,
I'll have that option on.
So we've got a few minutes left. So if anyone has any last minute questions for Peter, please drop them in. Did you want to give your channel a little bit of a plug, Peter, and tell everyone what's sort of coming up or what you've been up to the last few weeks on there? Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Obviously my channel is Peter Wray's Adventures. On the channel I deal with I have like vlogs, gaming videos, live streams. Normally I'm trying to think, I've put out videos recently, haul videos I've been getting recently. I sort of try and work out what videos I've got coming up. I know I've got a couple of sales updates to do. I'm hoping to be able to get out more to do more what's called walk around vlogs for eBay. When the weather gets better, I'm definitely going out to do the adventures again because I really enjoyed it. I have actually got sounds bad. I have actually got some adventures to edit from last August. I didn't get round to it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I got 5. I did the first one and the preview video to a local what's called common. It's split in that Epsom common and Ashford common. I did it back in August, but I'm always looking for different types of videos. It's sort of like spontaneous. One day I think, oh, I'll do a video on sound. But I have actually got some suggestions that people have noted down previously what they like to see on my videos. Like I do videos where I share like different completed and solds on certain types of items. I've done quite a few. It's called like I think it's like how much is sold on eBay for, or something like that. And they go into that via the eBay, and then what I do, I normally just talk about certain things because I think people gave me a couple of ones to do. It's just basically getting round to doing them, and I'm always open to collaborations. For example, I featured on the Vinegar Jars channel at the weekends because we went to the same car boot, and we always do because a lot of people are quite local who do YouTube. There's a fair few now, other than a couple of years ago. So yeah, and I always do say to people, if you see me out and about anywhere, don't be afraid to come up to me and say hello. I don't bite.
Yeah, not often. No, I think you've got some great content on there, and it's really cool to see you sort of get out and about and do what you're doing. And like you said, it's sort of giving you a lot more confidence in life. So I think that's a great thing that you found YouTube and been able to do so well with it. So thanks again for sharing your adventures with not only us but the rest of the world.
Okay, anytime.
And yeah, as we said before, there's Peter's channel. It is in the description. He was a great part of the charity live and donating some great auction pieces there. So really kind, giving person. So thanks heaps for your time tonight, Peter. If anyone has any last minute questions, please drop them in. We do have one.
I always get a question from California Patty Cakes. Off topic. Who is that on the poster behind me? I always get it every live. It's Steve McQueen.
Ah, yes.
At a motor racing event in 1970.
Bit of a Steve McQueen fan.
On channel sometimes more than I do. Everyone's always asking, what's that picture?
Wow. Steve McQueen fan then?
Motor racing event.
Yeah. So you like Steve McQueen? Yeah, so I don't think there's any more questions in the chat, but everyone's saying thanks for coming along. So we really appreciate what you're doing. DBG's dropped in as well. So thanks. We are about to head off, but thanks for coming along tonight, guys. As we said before, if you haven't subbed to Peter's channel, there is a link in the description. It's been dropped in the chat a few times as well. Definitely head over there, leave him a comment so he knows that you're watching his videos and hanging around. Really appreciate all the people in the chat, all the questions. We do have a couple of things coming up on Sunday that we wanted to talk about quickly before we head off. So Sunday we have Chris from Thrift Beast CQ coming on. It would be a nice chat, talk about what happens in Canada. And I don't know if you guys saw today, but we put out a little Instagram post. So there's going to be a brand new show coming not only to my channel, but myself, the Aussie VHS Thrifter Rob, and Look Mum I'm Hustling Drew are going to be running a Sunday night live and rotating it around the channels every Sunday. So something a little bit different. We're really looking forward to something new. So stay tuned for some more information on that. We're piecing that together as we go. So definitely come and hang out with us on Sunday, and we hope to see you all there. So thanks everyone again for coming. Thanks Peter for your time and your great story. And I'm sure we'll keep in contact in future. And if you guys like this video, leave us a big thumbs up, and we'll catch you next time on This Is Your Reselling Life. Bye, guys.
Take care.